You ever get that gut feeling? You're holding her hand, maybe kissing her lips, but something feels off. Like her body's next to you, but her spirit is somewhere else. Brother, that's not paranoia. That's your instinct sharpening its blade in the silence. Because here's a truth most men will never hear. A woman may lie with her words, but her body never lies. You were taught to chase her affection, to believe everything she says. You're the only one. I was just with the girls. I needed space. But the Stoic doesn't hear words. He watches patterns. He sees what others ignore. If a woman has recently been intimate with another man, there are signs, subtle, hidden in plain sight, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. She doesn't meet your eyes like she used to, not out of shame, but because her soul is momentarily tethered to someone else. The glow she had around you, the one that made you feel like the sun rose in her eyes, is duller, fainter, like a candle that's been burning in 2 rooms at once. Her energy feels distracted. You talk, she nods, but her mind is somewhere else. She's not here. And your masculine frame, your presence, it doesn't pull her in like before. It's not you. It's where her dopamine hit came from last night. You'll notice changes in touch. The way she holds you isn't seeking comfort, it's seeking comparison. You are no longer the first fire she reaches for. You are second, maybe third. This is not about becoming paranoid. It's about becoming aware. The world feeds men illusions. The Stoic sees through them. If your gut whispers to you, listen. Because when a woman has been touched recently, her soul wears fingerprints that can't be washed away in the shower. You can smell it in her distance. You can feel it in her warmth that now flickers like a dying flame. And if you're brave enough to look deeper, you'll see the truth. She will never confess. She'll act sweeter than usual, overcompensating, suddenly more affectionate, more responsive, even apologetic. But it's not love. It's guilt dressed up in seduction. You'll catch her doing little things she didn't do before, bringing you coffee, touching your arm with a softness that almost feels strategic. It's not because she misses you. It's because she betrayed something, even if it wasn't technically a cheat. Modern culture has trained men to ignore these signs, to call it insecurity, to dismiss your gut as toxic masculinity. But Marcus Aurelius would tell you, the first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Look closer. She hesitates before unlocking her phone, turns the screen away, laughs too quickly at nothing, stays a little too busy when she's with you, as if presence is now a performance. And then comes the silence, that weird, suffocating quiet between her words. You can feel it. The intimacy is no longer clean. It's been shared, and not with you. You want to believe it's your mind playing tricks. But the ancient part of you, the warrior, the lion, the observer, knows. There's a fracture in the connection, a subtle distortion in her warmth. Even her body will betray her. Hormonal shifts affect scent, mood, and micro-behaviors. She may shower, she may perfume, she may wear fresh clothes, but you'll feel the tension in her hug. You'll taste the distance in her kiss. And here's the hardest part. She won't confess. She'll never say, "I was with another man last night," because that would require emotional accountability. And most people, men and women, aren't built for that level of truth. But you are. You must be. Not to punish her, but to protect yourself. Because every man who ignores these signals trades his soul for an illusion, and every Stoic who sees clearly earns his freedom. Don't ask questions you already know the answer to. Observe, detach, move in silence. She won't tell you the truth, but her energy already has. You must understand this. A woman doesn't have to sleep with someone to emotionally leave you. Intimacy doesn't begin in the body. It begins in attention. In who makes her laugh when she's alone, in who crosses her mind before she falls asleep, in who she imagines texting when she's bored. Most men think betrayal happens in the bedroom, but it starts in silence, when she starts answering slower, when her phone's always face down, when her smile feels rented, not real, and if she has been with someone else, her behavior shifts permanently. It's in the way she withholds affection like a currency. It's in the coldness that suddenly invades once familiar touch. You'll lie next to her, but feel oceans apart. Her body, now shared, is no longer just yours to read. And the worst part? She won't even realize how she's changed. Because here's what no one tells you. Most women are masters of emotional compartmentalization. She can tell you she loves you, and mean it, while thinking of someone else in flashes. Her guilt won't come from the act. It'll come from how distant she now feels from you, and you'll feel it. You'll wonder why your presence doesn't settle her anymore, why your voice doesn't calm her, why your touch doesn't ignite her. She may still moan your name, still curl up beside you, still say, "I love you," as if it's ritual, but the energy is fractured. She's not all there. And the more she tries to hide it, the more you'll feel like you're fighting for a woman who's already left. Not physically, spiritually. So what do? You do what Marcus Aurelius would have done. You observe without clinging. You don't beg. You don't confront. You simply withdraw. Not in anger, but in mastery. Because if your woman has been intimate with another man, you don't need to destroy her. You need to preserve yourself. Let her face the silence of losing a man who knew the truth, said nothing, and vanished like a storm that never needed to announce its arrival. There is no wrath louder than a man who stays calm. No revenge sharper than indifference. When a woman senses that you know, that you've seen through her, and yet you choose silence, it shakes her more than any shouting ever could. You see, most men fall apart when they suspect betrayal. They beg, they cry, they try to win her back, but the Stoic man, he leans back into himself. He doesn't seek answers from her. He seeks alignment from within. Because you weren't put on this earth to babysit her loyalty. You're here to build fortress-like self-respect, to walk like a god among men, unshaken even when your world trembles. When you sense another man has touched what was once yours, don't try to re-own her. She's already gone. The most powerful response is your absence, your ability to turn cold while keeping your honor warm. Remember this, your presence is not something she's entitled to. It is a privilege. And when she violates that sacred bond with secrecy, games, or deceit, she forfeits the right to stand in your light. Let her feel what it means to lose a man who loved with depth but walked away with dignity. Let her realize too late what your silence meant. Not punishment, but closure. The kind that doesn't need explanation. Women may move on quickly, on the surface, They may laugh louder, post more, flirt harder, but deep down, the echo of your silence grows louder with time. Because while others gave her pleasure, you gave her presence, and that can't be replicated. You'll be tempted to message her, to ask questions, to dig for closure. But that is the weakness speaking, the version of you trained by a soft society. The Stoic knows better. He doesn't ask, "Why did she?" He accepts that she did, and walks forward like a king walking through fire, untouched. She may feel the regret, or she may not. That's not your concern. Your concern is the man in the mirror, the warrior who chose peace over pettiness, the man who understood that some truths aren't meant to be argued. They're meant to be outgrown. So now what, brother? You've seen the signs, felt the fracture, stared into the hollow space where her warmth used to be. The truth is brutal. She gave herself, emotionally, physically, or both, to someone else. And now, you stand at a crossroads every man faces in silence. Do you chase what left you, or do you become what cannot be left behind? This is where most men collapse. They spiral into validation seeking, trying to win her back, to prove they're worthy. But hear me now, you were already worthy, you just forgot. Because when a woman pulls away, it doesn't mean you're not enough. It means she was never built to hold a man of your depth. You think you've lost something. You haven't. You've been released. You've been handed a chance to rebuild. Stronger, sharper, stoic. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." She is the outside event. Her choices are outside your control. But your response, that's where your kingdom begins. From this moment on, your path is not about her. It's about reclaiming your energy, your time, your attention, once scattered like ashes at her feet. Do not become bitter. Become better. Hit the gym, not her phone. Read the Stoics, not her last texts. Master your mind, not her whereabouts. And understand this: the world will try to shame you for trusting your gut, for walking away, for choosing solitude over submission. But let them talk. Because while they drown in denial, you rise in truth. You are not just a man. You are a storm contained in silence. A temple no longer open to tourists. A presence that cannot be duplicated. She'll remember you, not for the gifts, not for the dates, but for the moment you looked her in the eyes, saw the truth, and walked away without blinking. That's the kind of man women don't get over, because he never gave them drama, only discipline. Now rise, not to prove her wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were always right. You saw what she thought she could hide, and you didn't need to expose her. You simply evolved. Beyond her reach,